Howdy, my fellow wood gasaholics. You can probably tell it's a weekend if you listen to the roof. The rain began with the weekend, and I'm sure it'll end with the weekend. It's pretty common round here. Anyway, I've been making good use of the time to update the Charlek. Around here I now have this extremely high-tech ignition system. In this little box here is a little computer, and it's responsible for the all-important task of making music. You'll notice that it plays the tune faster than the one on the bigger gasifier. I figured that's reasonable. This is a smaller gasifier, so it's only natural that its lifespan goes by quicker. What we now have with this system is when these valves here are both closed, you operate this valve, then you turn on the blower to maximum speed, and you wait a little old bit. Then you start singing in the sparks, and what you get is this lovely flare. Down here is an anti-explode device that I borrowed from the kitchen, and we have us a little flare cup here, on top of which is sitting what I think is a cutlery holder for use with dishwashing machines. I don't have a machine like that here. Here's one of the dishwashing machines I commonly use. But this little thing here lends itself really nicely to flare control, as it keeps the gas inside here for a little bit longer and gives it more time to burn during the early stages of the startup process. As a result, that works like a charm. And it also resists the wind, which is very nice, so you can have a flare going on, mostly inside and sometimes popping out the top. Going around the corner, I've made some interesting little discoveries. Over the last few nights I've had this engine running for about 3 hours so far on unfiltered gas from this little puppy. And the interesting discovery I've made is that I've had to advance the timing something chronic to make it work properly. What I've done here is I've made some little changes to the ignition control computer such that I've been able to add a little potentiometer to it, which allows me to adjust the position of the timing. So at the moment, in the neutral position, I think I'll turn on the light here. Just give us a moment to settle down. Right, that's more visible now. That's top dead centre, and this is about 8 degrees-ish before it. At which moment, turn the light off again, you'll see that LED comes on there. When that LED comes on, that means that the computer on this has released the spark. Now if I time or turn this little potentiometer up, say halfway maybe, and I turn this, the spark occurs a little bit sooner. So right there's the moment of sparking, and if I turn up the potentiometer some more, oops, I've turned it too far. Just bear with me. Okay, now the timing, turn on the light again and wait for the camera to adjustify. That right there is the moment at which a spark happens. The timing, or the top dead centre, is way over here, and that looks like about 40 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius of timing advance. Now to my surpriseification, the system needed all of that for successful operation of the engine on charcoalium flavoured gases, what I found that was that as I advanced the timing for a given gas setting, the engine went faster and faster and faster and faster and faster, and then it suddenly stopped because it went too far with that. Now that was with the throttle set at its resting position at idle, and I hadn't made any adjustments to these twiddly bits here. I think perhaps the average wood gasser can see straight away that there's an advantage to advancing the timing on our stock engines on our wood gassers, as it stands to reason that if we set our timing just right, we're going to get more electricities per load of wood that we put in there, which will make the wood gas bugs at least 10% happier. Well, that's my theory. So once I've proved it beyond any doubt with this, I think I might have a tutu with my other gasificator and make the required adjustments to the design of its system. It may mean I've got to make up a computer for the other engine, but it will be worth it if I get more watts per wood. What's also interesting, emphasis on watts here, as I turn up the timing, the exhaust system on the engine runs cooler. I guess that stands to reason because the mixture, if the timing's too retarded, will still be burning by the time it comes out of the engine and goes into the muffler. So I think there's a lot to be stated for advancing the timing. Reminds me of that time I asked my boss for an advance on my wages. He didn't give me that much of an advance, but I'm giving this engine here a great advance because it's such a hard worker. Well, it will be anyway. So fellas and fella S's, I thought you might be interested in the prospect of shifting the engine timing to make better use of treacle. As considering the price of wood these days, it was free yesterday and it's gone up to double that just recently. I'm thinking it's not a bad idea to squeeze every watt we can out of our treacleberry juices. Okay, my good friends and fellow addicts in the wood gas community, ciao for now.